executive editor of Texas Fishing Game Magazine, here with Sheila Nelson, and we were talking yesterday about various wild and crazy things we've done in the outdoors, and she has me way beat. She went predator calling in Africa. Okay, after she shot a leopard, she went predator calling in Africa and has a really crazy story. So I'm just gonna let you tell the story about what happened that night.
Okay, well, went to Africa with a great group, and I got split off by myself to a separate camp to go leopard hunting. I was lucky enough to get my leopard on the first night I was there. Got talked into staying and going out to the blind a second night to scout leopard for another one of the gentlemen we were hunting with. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, we hadn't seen a leopard, nothing had come into the blind, so it was cold, middle of the night. We decided it was time just to go back to camp. We'd been up all night the night before, and go back to camp and try to get a few hours sleep. So we get out of the little ground blind, and we are walking through the bush. I've got one little Surefire flashlight. I'm on my PH's heels.
In Africa.
In Africa. This is right on the border between Zimbabwe and Botswana. And I start hearing this really strange noise. Some animal, I had no idea what it was, thank goodness. And the further we got away from the blind and toward the road, the louder the noise would get, and I'd start hearing sticks break behind us. And we made it out to the road and met the trackers who had the truck. We go to get in the truck, and the truck wouldn't start. So everybody piles out, and very basic vehicles over there. So we're push starting, to try to get a rolling start on the truck. And as we're doing this, literally, you can hear sticks breaking around us. You can hear this awful yelping noise. Something was coming after us. And so I waited until the truck started, and we all jumped in, closed the doors. I looked at Louis, my PH, and I said, "What was that?" And he said, "It's hyena, and they are not happy." He goes, "They are really mad." And the next thing out of his mouth was, "You want to shoot one?"
Of course.
It's 2 a.m., middle of Africa. What? I just got chased by a hyena, and sure, why not? So we pulled the truck up to a little clearing, and he just happened to have in the truck a game call, and he pulled the speakers out of the truck and put them out the windows. We got up in the high rack and got a spotlight, and he worked the call for a little bit, and man, you could hear the hyena coming from all directions. They were coming from everywhere, and Louis leaned over to me, and he said, "When I turn the light on, start shooting, shoot everyone you see, because they are surrounding us. They are all over the place." So he turned the light on, and right in front of the truck, there were 3 hyenas standing there, and pulled the trigger and knocked 2 of them down, and we turned the light off and hit the call a couple more times, and Louis was like, "Man, that's awesome, you just shot a hyena. I've lived here my whole life. I've never shot a hyena." So I handed him the gun. I said, "Well, hey, it's your turn." So I handed him the gun, and I took the spotlight and called him in again, turned the spotlight on, and then he shot one. And
nice.
So it was an amazing experience. They were huge. They were unbelievable. I was shocked at how large. Their heads are that big. It stands about that tall. Massive.
So for all you guys that maybe think you're kind of tough for calling in bobcats or coyotes, and that's cool, I'm into that right there. She has called in and killed a hyena, which would eat an entire pack of coyotes. Everything. The cool thing about hyenas, they actually eat the bone. They actually eat bones, and probably see that in the bone structure on their head.
Their heads were huge.
Yes. Coolest
Unbelievable
story of all time. Chased by hyenas, killed one almost to survive. Only here at fishgame.com.